This is Radio Havana, Cuba.
This is Radio Pyongyang of the Democratic People's Republic of Korea.
This is Moscow.
That's right, it's time once again to do the Crazy Talk. Are you ready? I'm ready, and I hope you're ready too. Hey, it's Doc Normal. It's November 3rd. It's episode number 3 of Crazy Talk, and that's a bass guitar. Thank you very much. I'm joined by some, why am I talking like this? I'm joined by some very special guests. Whoa. That's going to be interesting on the stream. I'm joined by some special guests tonight in studio. That's right. They're going to be here and they're going to rant or not. It's my memePDX cohorts. Let's see if I do that right. Let's bring them in right now. Oh, there they are. Oh, no.
I'll just
now they're on mic.
Scoot over a little bit. Make some room for the dock there. Do you have enough room there, Mike?
I do.
Okay, good.
Hang on a second here. God, why? We've been sitting here recording all night, and my voice is like this.
You're so far away.
It's like I'm doing this thing where I'm like, I'm doing the this week on memePDX. Oh man, it's terrible. So in the studio tonight, we've got Turoczy. We've got CamiKaos. Should just say Kaos. I'm gonna fix that. And what are we here to talk about tonight, guys?
We just did a show.
We're kind of...
This is kind of our green room time.
It is your green room time. And I'm the giant head of Brian Williams. No, of Dr. Normal. Should I take the hat off?
Can I pet your
Leave the hat on or take it off? Should I leave it?
It's so cute.
You've got something in your ear there, Turoczy.
I know, it's my Bluetooth headset.
Okay.
I'm expecting a call.
We've got fancy headsets tonight.
Finally got it on the
So
right way.
let me get this straight. On this show, you rant about things?
That's always what we like to do.
You should have gotten us before we recorded memePDX when we were good and ranty.
Yeah, we were kind
That's
of
right.
more pissy.
Now we're like kind of mellow. And
What are we drinking tonight?
Dirty Dry Bombay Martinis.
Yep.
I think Rick just emptied his, though.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. How's the NyQuil going there,
It's
Rick?
great.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Really?
NyQuil with the martini chaser is just highly recommended.
Fantastic. So, do you want to kick this off by talking about the little project?
Which we have a really, it's not a little project.
It's huge.
It's a
Really?
huge project.
Let me see if this works here. There it is.
Yeah.
Ba-ba-ba-bing. What is it? What is this
30-hour
about?
day, a live stream telethon, the likes of which the world has never seen.
Is it the likes of the world hasn't seen, or have we seen this?
I don't know. I haven't
on many
done the
occasions.
I don't know, but it's a Strange Love Live in Silicon Florist production.
Yeah.
Really?
Has anybody done a 30-hour podcast before?
I don't know.
Live stream?
Live, 30-hour unedited.
We'll
We're
find
gonna
out.
need like a couple terabyte drives just to keep
to
the whole
back this
just to
mother
back
up.
the whole thing up. Splice it and dice it.
It's going to be awesome. I think what I'm going to do, special content for Dr. Normal's viewers.
Yeah.
I'm going to outline the first few hours, like what the
That sounds
first
great.
part is going to look like.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. And most of this is kind of confirmed, but this is going to be the first time we're announcing it. Some of it's a little shaky, but we're starting off at 4 p.m. on Friday, the 18th
The 18th.
of December, with beer and vlog.
This will all be taking place at Pi.
At Pi.
Yeah.
So we're going to kick it off with beer and vlog at Pi, and then we're going to move on for some fantastic holiday karaoke with Ms. D and Chef Chopper. And
What
then,
are they doing?
Pardon?
What are they doing?
They're going to bring down the karaoke rig, the setup,
karaoke.
and we're going to have holiday karaoke.
Only holiday tunes.
Only holiday tunes. Rick and I have already chosen our tunes
We're not
that we're
revealing
going to
that
be.
yet.
No, those are secret. And then, let's see, that goes. And then 8 o'clock, we're going to have PDX Sucks down.
After hours.
And he's going to be recording his After Hours episode.
Yep.
And then Strange Love Live will be
Is
live.
that confirmed?
Yeah.
Who?
Yeah, Robert
Okay.
said he was in.
All right.
And then the one that Will and I talked about, I believe that Will is going to come and bring Seventh Planet Picture Show.
Yeah.
Wow.
And we're going to do a Seventh Planet Picture Show.
Really?
Because Rick and I have to find... this is after Strange of Life. We do Strange of Life. And then Seventh Planet Picture Show.
Right.
And then a series of uncomfortable interviews
Yeah.
at an untimely time.
And then we had talked about maybe trying to get some of the food cart folks to
Yeah,
show
after
up
they
after
close.
they shut down.
Hey, I don't know if Whiffies. Greg,
Greg.
do you listen to this show? We'd like you to come down after you
You can
close
get him to do something.
Friday night,
That'll
Saturday
work.
morning.
Yeah.
All right.
Maybe bring me a lemon pie. What's your
Yeah.
favorite, Rick?
It's hard to pick a favorite.
Yeah, have you had the pizza one?
I haven't, yeah, but that was one of my things where I was like, they should do pizza at some point. So I'm
It was
very
good.
pleased.
It was very
Yeah.
good. One night I had a pizza one
Uh-huh.
and a lemon one.
You had like 3 in
No,
like
I had-
about 30 seconds.
I had 2 pies.
You were
I-
holding 3 in the
I was
photo.
holding 4. 2 of those were Dr. Normals.
Likely story.
I can't eat 4 pies. I'm a delicate flower.
Ain't nobody can eat 50 eggs.
I wonder, what's the current pie champ record?
10, I think.
10?
Yeah. Somebody's going to go for it, though. Again, they're going to try and break the pie champ thing.
We need to have somebody try to break the pie champ
On
record on
30
30-hour day.
Oh, that's perfect. At like 4 in the morning.
All right.
'Cause
That
not only
needs
are
to
you-
happen.
Not only are you horribly tired, but you're trying to hork down a bunch of deep fried pie. I can't think of
That would
anything
be
better than that.
Awesome.
Yeah, but and to give the premise for the whole 30-hour day, it's not just to see if we can stay up for 30 hours
It's
and
to
podcast
see if we
the whole
can stay
time.
up for 30 hours and raise money for some great causes.
Yeah, and what we're thinking, we haven't confirmed this with the charities we'd like to support.
We're hoping
yet.
the charities will let us give them our money.
Yeah, we think that's a pretty safe assumption that
Yeah.
they'll do that. But we're talking Oregon Food Bank,
Oregon Food Bank,
Toys for Tots,
Toys for Tots,
and Free Geek.
Free Geek.
Is the charities we will support. And there may be others that come into
We have
play.
some other things to try to help out the community up our sleeve, but we have to work out a good way to go about that.
Yeah. Yeah, so if you're interested, right now the site's pretty bare bones, but we do have a Twitter account you can follow.
30-hour day.
30-hour day,
Twitter.
all one word. 30
30-hour day.
Hour day.
And 30hourday.org.
30hourday.org is the site, and we'll build that out. And then there's a Facebook page, which doesn't have enough fans yet, so we don't have a vanity URL. But you can
You're
you can
such
get to
a liar.
What? Why am I lying?
Because you only need 100. I snatched up that vanity URL the second we got 100.
But not on 30-hour day.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was
We have
thinking
a-
about memePDX.
memePDX we do, but
Sorry.
but 30-hour day we
No,
don't
30-hour
have
day
enough
does
fans
not
yet.
have a vanity URL yet.
All right.
Yeah.
If
So
you
you have
guys
to
can
search
make
for
that
it.
happen,
Yeah.
Not that we're begging or anything, but it's for it's for the kids.
Okay.
Think of the children.
We'll
And
do
the-
that.
Should we
rant about
announce more.
something?
Yeah, let's go.
give me something to be
'Cause this
upset
isn't
about.
Like
What are we-
memePDX. All right. So Rick,
You make it sound like that show sucks or something.
I like our show. It's the only podcast
do you
I
live
watch.
stream the show?
Ooh,
Our producer won't let us.
our producer
No, it's a good show. You check it out.
No, seriously, the
he makes
producer
us shoot
said no.
multiple takes,
Yeah.
even when the first take
All
is the
right.
best one of the bunch.
4 takes
Maybe we
that
should
day.
rant about producers who are
I
like
think we should
controlling.
rant about the producers that tell me I broke the microphone and then tell me I broke your microphone too. And then make us do 4 takes of the same damn show.
It's not
and
easy.
then put up the very first take as the episode. Was I sick that week?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I was
upset.
That was when I was sick. Oh, was that when I was on cough syrup?
You
All
were
right.
upset and sick.
I was sick and upset.
All right. This is all about podcasting.
And
That's
this-
nice. We talked about
Oh,
podcasting.
we've got the WTF now. I see.
Exactly.
Okay, fine.
So seriously, last night after about 25 minutes, we got into a nice talk with Aaron
seriously.
Hockley, and
I have a Tom. I have a topic.
Oh,
Seriously.
so let me just recap.
All right.
So night
Recap.
one,
I'm going to be
after about
surfing
20
the web. You go ahead and go
Night
do what
one.
you're doing.
I'm listening.
after Don't make me put your Twitter. Don't make me put your tweet deck up there. Oh, I was just about to do it. Bastard.
You don't want to see the secret. I'm so glad he doesn't have control over my monitor.
Secret DMs. So what I was going to say is episode 1, November 1st, we talked about the media thing and the dirty, unwashed bloggers and people who write books for the...
About Paul McCartney.
Hey, no names. But anyway.
Sorry.
It was Ringo.
Ringo McCartney.
I'm an Elvis man myself, did you know?
Yeah, me too.
So, are you really?
Yeah.
That's
I'm more
sweet.
Elvis and the Stones than I am the Beatles.
All right. I knew
Like,
I liked you.
I like the Beatles just fine, but like if I had to, don't crush my head.
Anyway, so we have toys. The audio people are just going to go, this show now sucks.
Oh my god.
I didn't
This is a
even know
requirement,
you
by the way.
released this as
This
an
is like
audio.
the SAT
Edit.
test. This is like the SAT test. This is a requirement.
An
I might post the
SAT?
video on this one, though.
SATs are only a requirement if you
Okay.
want to go to school.
That's right. So I can never shut these guys up. This is what happens during memePDX. This is exactly how it sounds the whole damn time.
Before he does all his
we do.
editing magic, we just
He's
Jibber
complaining about us now.
La, la, la,
Yeah, wait till you
la,
see
la.
the intro for this week's memePDX. It's beautiful.
It's hot. It's white hot.
All right, so night 1, we talked about, after some rambling like we're doing here for the last 11 minutes, we talked about the media, and we talked about, it's right here. We talked about, the fact that every once in a while a reporter brings up the dirty, unwashed bloggers and pisses us all off. Secondly, night 2, last night, we had Hockley, we had Urkpod. We talked about podcasting, social photo talk after about 20 minutes, 25 minutes, and making money on the web and web streaming,
Is this a segment of his show?
and how people should pay for web streaming or something.
I didn't know.
So tell
So
me,
what conclusion did you guys come to during that show?
we concluded that Hockley and I want to get paid, and Irk's meeting new people, and he likes that. That was pretty much the conclusion.
Excuse me.
So,
I'd like to get paid.
so how are you going to get... You're doing the Silicon Florist. So...
Yeah, for the next 3 days at least.
Well,
Silly Flo in the
tell us-
house.
So how what's your how are you going to get paid for that?
What's your game plan?
What's your game plan?
Well, I would argue to some extent that I've already been paid to do it. I mean, there are a number of events that I've been able to attend for free on a media pass. There are, other...
Wait a minute. Do you get into South by Southwest for free?
Yeah, because if South by Southwest gave bloggers a free media pass, there'd be
No one
like
would
2
pay.
people paying for it.
But it would be like the guys from corporations
What
who
about
are rich.
podcasters?
You know, they'd be like,
What
yeah.
about
It'd be like you
podcasters?
We charge-
would have to pay.
No, not me. Oh!
You would
Did
have
you
to
just
pay.
pick his nose?
You can pick your friends. You can pick your nose. I don't know which way to dodge. So South by Southwest, of course, does not give. I mean, they might give you media credentials, but they're not going to let you in for free.
Right. How about
But-
Blog World? Were you down at Blog World?
I did not go to Blog
I
World.
forgot to ask Hockley about Blog World.
I wanted to go to Blog World.
See, I didn't want to spend the money.
Why did you want to go to Blog World?
To watch Hockley work his magic.
Yeah.
It's magic.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
WordCamp costs like $20, right? And there's
I didn't
magic
have to pay
there,
to go to
right?
WordCamp.
You didn't have to pay.
Well,
I was a speaker.
I
but
paid.
even if you had to pay,
I was a speaker.
it was cheap
I paid
in the
because
scheme
I
of things.
I paid last year.
Yo, this isn't memePDX.
What? So,
This is Crazy
Cami-
Talk.
Oh.
We're supposed to interact with him, not with each other. I
So do
think.
you want me to get back to like how
Thank
I get
you.
paid for this stuff? Is that
Hi,
what
me.
you're
I'm the big
asking?
head behind you. I thought you guys were going to turn around and do this.
Sorry, Doc.
What's the name of the Edward R.
I
Murrow?
can't say anything.
I
Show.
don't either.
I want to be
Contrary to
Lucy.
popular belief, there's nothing here.
Well, Ed,
I can't-
Desi, and I.
This is
we
acting.
Really,
Acting.
It's a green
Exactly.
wall with a giant head that I'm pretending is there.
Shh, it's magic. It's all magic.
All right, what do you want to know, Doc? How he makes money off of the silly flow?
I want to know the opinion.
Should we be
How are we
being
gonna make
paid?
the money?
Paid? How are we going to make the money?
How are we going
Should
to
we
get
be
paid for all
paid?
this
Yes. How are we going to get paid?
I think that's still. I mean, I think that's still pretty big question.
I think it's resolving itself.
If you look at the big, like
no,
yeah,
giant head of Dr. Normal.
If you look at the big tech blogs,
Right.
they've managed it with the same exact model that was used in traditional print journalism. It's all advertising based, and some of them,
right. It is.
like Read Write Web and to some extent TechCrunch, have started to come out with like paid reports where they will analyze the industry.
So some of the
and then
content
charge.
you get for free, but the super special stuff you have to pay for.
Right, if they're going to put a lot of research work
It's like
into
consumer
it.
reports.
Exactly.
So I noticed on this one blog I go to called the Silicon Florist.
The silly
.com.
Those in the know, we call it the silly flow.
I noticed that there was something that I could sign up for in my email inbox,
Yeah.
like as of today or yesterday.
Yeah, I just, a lot of people had been asking me for, and I think it's, as the blog matures, it becomes more and more clear to me, and memePDX is another good example, it becomes more and more clear to me that people consume content in different ways. And while I may be most comfortable producing written content for people to consume, that I need to provide it as video and audio because some people would rather interact with that kind of stuff.
Okay, so you got the newsletter that you
And
started.
now there's the new newsletter, which is
Okay.
some people don't want to. There is a ton of stuff that I put out, both in, in a variety of ways. There's the posts that I put up. There's the links that I gather that I don't have time to write up, but I want people to see, and then there are all the events going on in town. So there's this kind of stream of information going, and what a bunch of people have come to me and said is, we don't have time to filter through all that. Would you just give us the most important stuff? Would you distill it?
So what they're saying is you're very long-winded, but we'd like to know what you have to say.
No, not even that.
No?
The long-winded part. Right on. Yes, you've nailed that one. But the thing they're saying is that they want some educated guess as to what is the most important. So don't give me the idea behind the new newsletter is, don't give me all the stories you wrote this week. Like memePDX, pick out 2 or 3 stories that are important that I need to know about, and then pick out what are the must-attend events.
Why don't they just
week.
listen to my memePDX? memePDX.
Your PDX.
No, that's a good point. I mean, so.
Well, I think it's the difference between.
So you're doing the email thing, but where does this video audio thing fit in? I
think the email is just another medium for people to consume the content.
So email is still.
There are some people who still
yeah.
love email, and I don't, but there are people who do. And there are people who only get like 25 emails a day, and I envy them greatly. But that's how they like to consume content, and so
they could totally have a geek badge for Inbox Zero.
Yeah, they should.
I want a sash.
Well, and I got a thing from Jake Kuramoto today, actually, after I put out the newsletter post. It was he sent me an email about it, but he had just written a post about how to actually get the information even faster than the RSS reader.
I found something to rant about.
Through push notifications?
Mm-hmm.
And
through your email or what?
No, push notifications on your iPhone.
So that you could get the blog posts like instantaneously.
Like I get my Scrabble.
And so he was arguing for the exact opposite of the newsletter, which is, tell me how to get my information that you're producing even more quickly than an RSS feed. Than an RSS feed will give it to me.
Okay, so but your email. Okay, your email.
Wait, no, I'm gonna look at
newsletter.
Dr. Normal now.
Your email newsletter was a result of doing that. As far as doing the, not waiting for the RSS feed and sending an email which comes directly in my inbox, right? That was your solution.
It had to do more with the filtering.
So it had to do more with the brevity.
I'm going to look at that, Dr. Normal.
Yeah, I have an easier time dealing with the small-headed Dr. Normal than the large-headed one.
It's proportion.
It had to do...
It's proportionate.
It had to do
large
with
ideas.
the filtering. Like, I don't have to, it was really, I can skim.
This is really creepy, by the way. It's odd, but it's fun. We have fun on memePDX. We have fun on CrazyTalk here, too.
CrazyTalk,
It's
change the
crazy.
subject.
Okay.
Paid.
Yeah, that's right. That's the subject.
I had a
paid.
rant. Oh,
What
I know.
was
I
it?
have a rant.
Well, before that, did we
got a
close up
rant.
the
All right.
video and the audio and the multimedia?
Long story short, if you're a blog, if you're trying to produce any kind of media today, I don't care if you're a journalist or a TV station or a blogger, podcaster, whatever, you've got to deliver it in different formats. Otherwise, you're not getting to the widest audience. That's
agree.
it.
I agree.
And so to bring together episode 1, 2, and now episode 3, where we got into the whole, this is, so kind of Hockley and I were talking about, this is a lost leader, right? We're doing a podcast. It's just, you could get some advertising, you can, get something going. Good luck, right?
Well,
right now. But
I've got a rant now.
okay, but the
I have a
thing
rant
is,
first.
hang
Rant is
on.
first.
Let me speak.
Okay,
What is this,
Diane
your
had a
show?
rant.
Let me speak.
I'm a bad guest.
Russell,
I'm okay with the
no.
hosting. I'm okay with the co-hosting.
Okay.
The guesting I'm bad at.
And
Sorry.
I'm going to mute your mic.
Giant doctor.
I'm going to mute your
head.
mic. Anyway, what I was going to say for the people on the audio is this, that right now it's consulting. Right now it's bringing people into this world of multimedia and blogging. Right? I mean, that's what we said at WordCamp.
Yes.
For now, it's like, yeah, we know how to do this.
Always be entertaining. That's
Always
what I
AB.
took away.
Oh, we,
Work hard.
and it doesn't have to be like this.
AIDA. Attention. Do I have your attention? Interest.
So you disagree?
What?
You disagree?
I don't.
Argue.
I don't really want to. You had your rant first.
He won't give me my time.
You disagree that it's not consulting?
He's talking
right
to
now,
you.
right now in this phase. No? Say no. Say no.
He wants you to argue
All
with
right.
him.
No,
Here
no,
is
tell
where,
me what's
here
wrong with
is
that.
where I think. Okay, so.
Because this is where Hockley and I wound up.
All right, so the argument right now has to do with basing your advertising and your income and revenue from your activities on traditional mainstream advertising models, which is how many times do I show this? How many people see this?
CPM.
Cost per impression bullshit. And that will not work in blogging and podcasting. What we need to figure out is an advertising model that is equitable for the amount of time you spend cultivating an audience and that level of trust that you have in an audience. I would argue that advertising on Strangelove Live
Which we should do.
by the right entity would be far more money spent advertising on Strangelove Live would be far more valuable to some entities than 10 times that amount of revenue spent on Oregon Live.
Okay.
Because it's more localized.
Because it's more personal. You guys have a connection with the audience. If there's somebody that you guys trust and respect that is also an advertiser, and there's the conveyance of trust there, and there's the establishment of trust with your audience, and all of that works together, then that's a far more valuable reference from you guys than somebody who just pays to say, well, you got 10,000 views on that banner ad.
So you played into my nefarious argument quite well, because what I came away with after
I'm just a straight guy. That's
exactly
what I do here.
He burns.
Yeah, the birds.
Yeah.
Give me the cigar, Gracie.
After I came away from the conversation thinking about it today, thinking about it this morning, and I was thinking, it's not the
I tried to get him to put the lipstick on, ladies. I'm sorry.
10 or
She didn't
15
do it.
second Super Bowl ad, right?
Right.
It's the Avon lady. It's your neighborhood
Yes.
Avon
My
lady,
mom.
the Mary Kay
My mom was
lady,
an Avon lady.
right? Because we never ever said to the Avon lady, how many, do you have 1.5 million
Right.
views
Right.
of your product? No, she's going door to door to her friends and as a trusted advisor.
Yep.
Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I don't think
I miss the Avon lady.
I miss like it goes back to the
It's somewhere in between the Avon lady and the mass marketing.
Yeah, because I don't
No,
miss,
Avon has become mass marketing. They don't have the Avon lady anymore.
It's just I use that as an example of the person in your neighborhood. And back when I was growing up, it was the housewives who would go and sell Tupperware, Avon, you name it, and they would have parties. Stop singing.
no,
my show, no singing.
Thanks, Rick.
But they would have get-togethers and stuff, and they would talk about products, and there was like you say, very, very, very deep touch there. I mean, as far as selling products.
I don't like that term. I'm not comfortable with the term.
Well, now they have lingerie parties.
Where the deep touch.
Now they have lingerie parties, so you tell me.
They have sex toy parties too.
Right. That's right.
Can I have my rant? Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, can I just say one more point?
Yeah.
I think it also has to do with the accepting every advertiser that comes to your door versus finding, like, your advertising community should be a community the same as your viewing community, and they should both be cultivated.
Dr. Normal and I were looking at an option for monetizing Strange of Live, and when I looked at it and saw what some of the commercial options were, I said, I don't think I can do it because these are not the people I want to market to.
But but we have the option to pick and choose.
Yeah, here's the thing: he has the back information on this. The advertisers are just not people that I think are applicable to our viewers.
Right, and much like getting back to the filtering of the email newsletter, it's no different. It's if somebody has a certain level of trust with you to say, I want you to tell me something you appreciate or you think is valuable or you think has merit, then there should be some reciprocation there from a corporation, and the corporation should be paying advertising for that kind of stuff to support the content.
And when we move into that phase, we just have to be more and more careful, right?
Yeah, because it's really easy to go off the track on
exactly.
that. It's a lot more, like if you're posting a banner ad on your site,
no one wants.
Never say anything about it. It's just up there flashing. Who cares?
You know what? I think I said this last night. Banner ads, AdSense, it's all dead. It's dead to me. I don't look at that crap. I block that crap through my browser.
I don't see any of it.
Banner ad? Come on, and then they
but
throw in the little
gets
animated thing.
Everything for me.
But
you can't see that.
You also have to understand that you're at the thin of the bell curve there too. I think there's still an awful lot of people who very much pay attention to that stuff. And I mean, I think there are still there are people who make a very lucrative career out of being almost the site you wanted. Which is and that's a successful Google AdSense business, which is you're a site that ranks high for a particular search term, but when people come there, it's not the content they were looking for. The content they were looking for is appearing in the banner ads on the side. So they click on there to go where they really wanted to be in the first place. The same thing that Google does, which is we'll show you some search results, but really look at these ads and click on those because those are the people
I never click on them. There's just nothing there.
There are a lot of people who do.
And the keyword, and when you get the email and you see like the ads next to your email, and there's certain keywords, and it's just ridiculous. You're like, I mean, just some wacky examples of that. I'm sure if you Googled wacky AdSense.
Well, that's actually a really, that's another good example of that.
By the way, don't ever stick your finger in my mouth again.
Only I'm allowed to do that.
Anyway,
that's disgusting.
The other part about like cultivating those communities is that there should be some quid pro quo there. Like the advertising community should be willing to give discounts to your community.
To your viewers, to
community. Like there should be some give and take.
Well, that's the model. I mean, that's the model we were looking at for one particular entity that does podcasting, and that's the whole thing. You get spiffs on subscription signups. You get
Yeah, but the people
percentage,
your
and then
community doesn't get anything. You get something from your community, but your community
Right.
doesn't get anything back. And I think that's
Yeah,
where
but if
the
it's something they're interested
it needs to
in,
be
though.
reciprocal.
yeah.
But if it's something they're interested, though, they feel better. Now, one thing I see is they feel better about, like, I've used coupon codes for certain things, mainly domains, right? I mean, let's be honest, like the GoDaddy coupon codes and some of those are pretty popular, right?
Yeah.
And a couple things I see is like registering domains. You're listening to a podcast. You're gonna go register a domain. You remember, oh, that coupon code of my favorite podcast. I'm gonna type that in and get my discount. And so you're reciprocating that way. In addition, I think one of the best examples, and I think there needs to be more examples like this in marketing, is Leo Laporte doing the whole audiobook sponsorship, the Audible. I mean, that is genius because you're basically taking people who are consuming content in audio in a podcast and selling them audiobooks. That's not a stretch.
Right.
And if you like Leo and you like what he does and you think, gosh, I do want to listen to some books or something, that's not tough for you to click and go do that. And I would say if the guy's making $1.5 million a year on podcasting, I would say that Audible thing's paying off pretty well for him. I'm not saying we're gonna, we're not all gonna make that, but that's a pretty sweet deal, and that deal makes sense.
Right.
It's not like he's selling transmission services or something.
Exactly.
He's selling audiobooks.
Right.
And he's doing a podcast.
Right.
So, Cami, you had a rant.
I'm kind of chilled out a little bit now.
Well, we do have a caller.
I did. What made no, but I have got something. It made me think of it. Rick mentioned.
Is it along the lines of getting paid?
No.
Okay.
Rick mentioned Jake.
Yep.
Kiramoto in the previous conversation, and what it reminded me of the fact that we have such a hard time tagging, branding, informing on what is in any given audio or visual content. Now, when you've got...
Oh, my God. That's a great one.
It's driving me crazy. It's driving me up the freaking wall. I can't remember every person's name that I say. I can't remember every topic that I talk about in an hour and a half of podcasting content.
Yeah.
And I don't have the resources to pay someone to sit there and find every single mention and then to tag it all. It's ridiculous. So there has to be a better way to figure out how to let people know. I'm going to... If I see that someone has said my name, I want to know what they're saying about me.
Right.
If I see someone said my friend's name, I want to know. I want to know what's going on. There has to be a better way to make that information out there and to be able to pick up the information on people that you're more interested in.
Is this directly related to SEO? Rick?
You know what? It's not so much about the search engine as it is about the content, about being able to label the content, not being able to search.
And within context. I mean, I think we've been kind of experimenting.
It's still search, though, right?
Yeah, I mean, we've been experimenting with that in the memePDX stuff. So so we use Vidler.
And by we, I mean that Rick makes that happen.
Well, we use Vidler to
distribute
the content because they offer functionality that allows you to basically do show notes within context or pop-up video kind of stuff within context. So when Cami mentions a link or I mention a link, I will add it to the Vidler stream. But that is a 15 to 20 minute podcast, and
here's the thing. No, it goes further than that. What I'm saying is this: I've got what is it, Dr. Normal? What's that thing called? I get the email from Google. So that if someone
Google Alerts.
Google Alerts. If someone types the name, if someone has on the web anywhere, CamiKaos, it gets sent to my email. I get it.
Yep.
Right.
If someone says something about somebody in a podcast, no.
Right.
You don't get
unless
that.
It's transcribed or unless somebody goes through the effort of tagging it along the way.
And that would be a crazy person.
And I mean, you look at the other thing is there's somewhere. I agree with you, but I think that the thing I find even more frustrating
this is a good one.
Is when somebody tags stuff on Facebook as having me in it.
And you're not.
either that or like it's like 30 minutes of content and I've got to sit there and watch the whole thing to figure out where the reference was.
The one thing I can deal with Facebook is at least I can untag myself.
Yes. Or
So I
opt out of the
Okay, so I think there's two problems here, two technical problems.
Yeah.
Have I mentioned that we want more fans on a 30-hour day on Facebook?
No, I don't think you've said that yet.
Let me show the there
30-hour day. Let's see how many fans we have now. Just one moment. 18.
That's sad.
Nice. Oh, that's not good. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
No,
Cammy
well,
wants
18th
more.
and 19th. I thought it was the second and third.
I need
Oh,
no. It's the 18th and the 19th.
Ooh, the Sabrina
God,
PDX.
Dr. Normal.
Hey, wait a minute. Sabrina PDX.
I'm
Look.
hoping. Well, Sabrina does the after hours with Robert,
Yeah.
right? I'm hoping she's going to be there.
Here, Knockley.
All kinds of
Our friend
folks.
Jeff. I see there.
See who
Oh,
else
hey,
is there.
Jeffy.
Yeah. Okay. So there were two technical problems with this we're talking about. First is integrity of data, which is, somebody tags you with something and it may or may not be you.
Correct.
Right.
Which is a pain in the ass.
And I think that's a whole
Oh, I have
different...
another rant. Too.
Hang on. I think that's a whole different subject.
I'm ranty.
But it's very much... Cami brings up something that's been a concern for me for quite some time, and that is exactly pulling together data within essentially streaming media or multimedia. Rick's been using Vidler, and that's been very cool, and at some point you're going to give me a little tutorial on that. I actually have done a few Ustream highlights. So if you record the video on Ustream, you can go back and do what you do on Vidler and make a cut, like an intro and an out cut, and then say okay.
Outro is not a word.
I'm gonna. Yeah, I know.
I like it.
And I did a couple of those. Like, for example, I did one where Steve Walling said, "We don't want your shitty band on Wikipedia." Another thing where I had Robert Wagner talking about, how he felt about the radio and growing up with the radio and how it had failed him. It takes time to do that. My biggest problem with that is it takes me as a producer time to do that, and I may not have all the time. I want to crowdsource that. I want to be able to go out and say Rick Turoczy can go take the latest 2 hours of Strange Love Live and find that bit, or as you're watching it, say, "Oh, mark that. That was the key piece," and then share that with everyone else.
Yeah,
and I think that's coming. I think that's a technical problem, but I think that will come in time.
And if you watch shows, I think Vidler is a really good example, actually, of they've had this functionality for years. And if you watch some of the more popular shows on Vidler, a good example is Gary Vaynerchuk's Wine Library TV is syndicated through Vidler. And there is enough of a fan base there that a lot of them will submit those comments and tag up that video on their own. So you'll get...
So what you're saying is we're not popular enough?
We don't have enough fans on the Facebook page.
That you don't love us enough, people?
It's not... I understand it's not... She's the one who's upset about it. It's not...
So...
Don't cry. Don't cry.
So again,
There's
but
no
you
crying
can't...
in podcasting.
So again, on Vidler, you can't crowdsource the cuts and the highlights, though, right? Is that what you're saying?
Not the cuts and the highlights, but the kind of comments that I put in there.
Yeah.
With the URLs.
The notes.
Anyone can do that.
Oh, okay.
Anyone who has a Vidler
So that's
account
helpful.
can add
So
those.
what I'd like to see, hello about us. Hi about us.
Hey, more unbased about
Yes. What I'd like to see is to have that functionality in Vidler so that anyone can come up and make their marks, right? And then dump that out to a wiki page.
Oh, yeah.
So in other words, then you have auto show notes.
Yep.
I think that would be sweet. That's exactly the solution I want. So, I mean, again, I'm so focused on producing content. If I were getting fully paid full time for this, I might have more time. But
Is he trying to get people who watch Crazy Talk to hire him?
sure, you can hire me. I'm drnormal at gmail.com. I'm Dr. Normal. That's DRNORMAL on Twitter. Feel free to contact me. So
I'm trying
I
not
should
to
do a
host
plug
this
for
show.
SLL
I'm
Production.
having a hard
Yeah,
time.
stop it. You're not the host of this show.
I'm trying so
My
hard
show.
not to host your show.
I thought you were going to do anyway. But back to what I'm saying. I think that take the Vidler solution and then work on Wikipedia or work on a wiki type solution. And we have companies in town. This is the thing that kills me, Rick, is we have About Us in town.
Yeah.
We have Iterasi in town.
Yeah.
We have contacts to, I believe,
both those
Vimeo,
places.
right?
Yep.
I mean, we have the tools here. Let's put these together and actually make that solution.
Yeah.
I think it's possible.
Yeah, I do too.
So this is my call to action
Well,
out
but
there.
I also think it's very much like photography. Like you're just barely seeing, and I'm holding your head for some reason. We're just barely seeing the.
She's doing the dishes right now.
Oh, it's cupcake time. The
cool.
the
Cupcake time is cool.
the photo metadata is just barely starting to become valuable, and
Right.
video is going to trail that to some extent. So I think it's coming where a lot of that will be automated, but I think you're right. In the meantime, we have to figure out some manual way of creating that,
Crowdsourcing
or
it.
recreating that
To let
data.
people go in and put their. I mean, it's take the social media approach. I mean, it's not like
To
I
debrand the frosting.
that noise in the background is something CamiKaos is doing because she is a hyperactive
apologize.
child. Anyway,
I did unbrand the frosting.
this
not
was the
being
thing I wanted to do on
sponsored by
memePDX
those
is do
folks.
the chocolate frosting. So, Cami, did you have anything else, or you? Otherwise, I'm going to bring in our caller as
My
you do.
attention span got all
right.
broken. I had another rant, but I can't remember.
Okay, well, let's bring in our caller tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, on the phone, Verso. I need to...
Hi, Verso. I'm sorry I have no cupcake for you.
It's a virtual cupcake.
Actually, I have enough cupcakes, but you're not here, so.
Yeah, it's kind of far for the
It's
middle
tiny.
of the night.
Look at how tiny it is on your screen. It's not even worth it.
Then I guess I'm glad I didn't bother. I'll be less huffy about the fact that I have no cupcake.
So, Verso, you
Yes.
you heard the rant. You've heard, you've been listening in. Mm-hmm. So, weigh in as far as you were on show 1.
I was.
And I don't know if you heard show number 2.
I did not. I was out
Having a life.
doing family.
pre-birthday-
yeah, my mom.
pre-birthday cake,
My
sure.
mom came down with her 2 sisters, and we did my birthday early with my mom. So
Oh, there you go. Well, happy.
yeah.
Oh, shit. Why do I keep doing that, man?
Took us off. Oh, there we are.
Yeah, there's a lot of complicated crap that goes on behind the scenes here, by the way. I just want everybody to know.
Yeah, you know what complicates it? Wearing
What?
sunglasses inside.
Thank you,
Tell me about
Kelly.
it.
Yeah, thanks for not saying eating cupcakes on the air.
Okay.
Oh, look, my name's
That doesn't make
Teresa.
anything complicated. That just makes it sticky.
I'm
So
trying to get
good.
Miss Verso's lower third up.
I'm Verso. What, if you look at the screen, it looks like my name's Verso.
Oh, I'm not going to do that. I was going to do something really bad.
You're a bad person, Doctor.
Really bad.
Yeah, I was
Oh,
going
no.
to. Yeah.
Oh my god, you ate the whole cupcake already.
Okay, so Verso,
Yes.
you've been listening all this time.
Yes,
you
I
called
have.
into the show, and so tell us your thoughts. What's on your mind?
Well, I've been considering what you guys are talking about as far as monetization, and I think part of that is that as far as the video piece of people putting content on the internet, I think I think what it is that the bandwidth to get video on the internet, let alone live streaming video on the internet, is a relatively recent occurrence. As you know, just because something comes out doesn't mean everybody can do it automatically. First, there had to be the upload bandwidth capability. Then there had to be people with
Absolutely.
computers.
You're
Then everybody had to buy a new computer. Eventually, that would have the capability to push that kind of something up the pipe. Now that there's a pipe available to push it through, so. I think part of it is that this is sort of a new thing that a lot of people are still figuring out, and just like with putting up your own website, and then eventually putting up your own blog as those things got not necessarily democratized, but a lot more common, and it was a lot easier thing to do. Like now, 30 seconds at WordPress.com, and you can have your own blog and be up and publishing, over lunch and still have time to eat your sandwich and drink your beer.
Mm-hmm. So
And
we're a bunch of tech whiners.
You
That's what I
drink
want
beer
to
at lunch?
Well, no, I just think that I think it's just that right now, part of what I think compels a certain type of person to be interested in video on the web, and particularly live video on the web, and the stream and all of that kind of thing. I think the people who are compelled by that are the people who, like 10 years ago, were compelled by blogging, and 15 years ago compelled by building your own website. And it's because it's sort of the wild frontier of digital interaction. And so I think there's a piece of that, and I think the fact that most people can't do this. I always use my mom as a baseline for things like that.
Mm-hmm.
My mom doesn't know about Twitter. My mom, doesn't have a cable modem. My mom, no, none of these things. But
Wow.
that's like sort of my baseline. When my mom got high-speed internet at her house, that's when I presumed basically everybody has high-speed internet. And when my mom called me up and asked me about the Twitter because she saw Rick Sanchez read something she thought was me on the air while she had CNN on in the other room. Yeah, see, there's my cake. CNN,
You're way
she
behind.
yeah. She called me and said, "What's Twitter? I saw it on CNN. Can you explain it to me?" Now, my mom can't build her own client, but my mom understands enough about how it works that when people talk about it on TV, she's not completely lost. So I use her as like my baseline, and my mom isn't streaming live video yet.
Right.
So,
yeah. I understand.
So I think there's a piece of that, and I think until my mom has that capability, I think it's not necessarily something that a lot of people are going to be able to monetize effectively. And that's because there are only a few people who are able to do that right now. And part of the way they're doing that is getting to the small number of companies and individuals and whoever else that's out there who has money to give to something like sponsoring podcasts. So
here's the thing. I mean, I think we agree that we're all of us sitting here right now. We're in the early adopter phase. I mean,
Absolutely.
or the that. I mean, Rick pointed that out earlier. What did you say? The thin part of the curve, or whatever it was.
yeah.
Some marketing phrase I used. Who knows?
Yeah.
Fancy marketing.
I don't know. It just comes out of my mouth.
And so I think your point is well taken, that to a certain degree we're kind of whiners here because we're all pushing the curve, ahead of the curve. We want this, we want that. We whine about Google AdSense not working on our social photo talk website. I'm not saying Aaron's a whiner, but I'm saying that's not solving world
That's what you said.
hunger.
You
right?
just said Aaron is a whiner.
No, but Aaron's one of us, right? Yeah, that is a
Yeah.
problem
so we're
in our
whiners
world.
too?
But the point here is that
I don't like the turn.
we're the
this is
people.
taking all
No,
of a
no, no.
sudden.
We're the people who are jumping in at this time versus waiting for.
Finger's bad tonight.
What are you going to do? Sit on the sidelines? Are you going to sit on the sidelines and wait until NBC, CBS, HBO, Fox, Rupert Murdoch, who's the crazy guy from Viacom? Sumner Redstone, and all these guys move in and eat your lunch? I don't think so. I don't want that, and that's not the world I want. I mean, I use the example of Ted Turner at CNN. I mean, when he, now, granted, whatever you think of CNN today, which quite frankly, I don't think much of CNN, I don't think much of cable news, but back in the day, when I saw cable for the first time and I saw CNN for the first time, that was revolutionary.
I remember being so excited when I heard about it. I was not all that old, and cable was sort of new too because I lived in the wilderness. And I just remember thinking how useful it would be to the world to have a channel that was always news all the time.
Right.
Because at that point, the speed of communication, of any sort of communication, was so much slower than it is now. So, and all you had was, unless it was important enough for the network to break into my stories, then, the only way you knew it was a big deal was if it wasn't 5 o'clock and Tom Brokaw was on the TV.
Yeah, before CNN existed, there was soap operas during the day, and then Walter Cronkite breaking in and telling you something happened.
Right.
And there were 3 stations, and you liked it, and that's the way it was. And you walked 5 miles to watch those 3 stations.
Yeah, uphill both ways to change the channel in the snow. Yeah.
But the point here is that, and I think in the next, it's in the next 5 years. I think we're ending the first decade of the 21st century, guys. I think into the next decade we're going to see this huge change in all of this. I mean, TV is already broadcast television. Analog airwaves are gone, right?
Yeah,
they're finally gone in the United States. We now have digital airwaves, and I want to point out in the Ustream chat room right now, Doug Coleman and McClure are talking about the UI and talking about, well, as soon as you put that on the easy UI on the television, which is happening now, it's in process. Big technology companies are making that happen right now. It becomes easier and easier. A good example of that is, podcasting on the Roku box. Podcasting on, Cami brought up the Apple TV. She said, I can dial up memePDX on the Apple TV.
I think I talked about that on memePDX, not on this show.
Oh, did you? I don't know. It's one long, big...
It was earlier tonight. It's all blurred now.
It's been a long night.
We'll be dropping the LSD pretty soon. Not really.
No.
The show does not support the recreational use of drugs.
I've never done LSD in my life.
Only the professional use of drugs, like in the middle of a podcast.
We leave that to PDX.
That's all defensive. I've never actually done...
Whatever, Cami.
Okay, anyway. The subject is not drugs, the subject is media. Tomorrow night we can talk about drugs.
My brain is screwed up enough without hallucinogens, I have to tell you.
Yeah, trust me, me too. So my point is that is changing rapidly. And, there's a certain amount of, let's face it, older generation that you sort of, they're going to fall off the curve, right? And, advertisers are speaking to, what is the demographic, Rick, for advertisers?
Sorry, I was off on death panels when you were talking about the older people dropping off.
Logan's Run.
I was showing Rick my empty
Logan's
martini glass.
Run.
He was sad.
That was your Blade Jogger, unseen prequel.
Thank you.
The other night, I thought immediately Logan's Jog too would have been another good one.
Oh, good one. Good one.
What was your favorite of the unseen prequels?
I don't know. Blade Jogger.
Blade Jogger.
Kind of
Yeah, you know what? I thought, quite frankly, I thought 2000: A Space Normalcy was pretty good.
Yeah,
I don't know what was. I mean, come on.
No, hey, you're not going to get any argument.
Versa's not laughing. Damn it.
I chuckled at it. You just can't hear me because I'm trying to not cough into the microphone most of the time.
That's what Rick and I are doing too. We're trying not to cough into our microphones.
So, Rick, what's the demographic? You're in marketing.
Yeah, demographic for what?
What's so radio?
The demographic's 18 to 34.
18 to 34. So 18
I'm
to
still
34.
in the demographic.
Not long, baby.
I know.
Hey, I've got 2 more years in the I have 2 more years in the demographic.
And then you're going to be old like the rest of us.
That's right.
Except Versa's still young.
No one cares about
Versa's
Please.
Spry and young.
Do you know how long I have left in the
Do I need to
demographic?
mute you? Not you, Versa. The CamiKaos.
Cami has coffee.
Cami coffee. Anyway.
Verso has less time left
like
in the demographic than I do. You have like a few days, right?
Really?
Yeah, thanks.
Oh,
I'm not trying to be mean to you. You brought it up.
Sweetie, you're older.
I didn't bring it up. All I said was, I don't have as long in this as you guys seem to think I do.
You're
I
like,
left it there.
Wow.
You could have just let Dr. Normal lie for you.
No, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do what I was going to type in there.
You should mute me right now.
Yeah. Whatever. My lawn, you're on it.
Lunger is what we call that. I'll be your huckleberry. Anyway,
Emergency!
oh, don't bring up emergency.
Now he's all
That's
distracted.
when the really old guys come out.
Avengers!
Yeah.
I'll
So,
be over here.
I mean, so I think the point is that
Well, my
the
point
UI
is that
gonna
it's not going
change,
to be...
the technology is going to change.
Yeah.
Advertising will move there. We're doing it now. We're the early adopters. The thing that
Right.
pisses me off the most is when you see the early adopters, the people who really get it, get cast by the wayside as all the douchebags come in and
He
make
loves
money
the
at
word
it.
douchebags.
Right. Because
Actually,
there's gonna be some D-bag who hooks up with some social media guru who bought one of Dr. Normal's books and then is the person who, and that's
right.
gonna be the guy that makes all the money and not us.
That's right.
Well, and again,
I'll spread it around though because I'm cool.
I think you guys hit on a really good point there, where the early adopters kind of figure this stuff out and kind of feel an affinity to what they're doing and how they're going through it. And you look at people who are who are going to become the Elvis and the Led Zeppelin and like the people who have taken the work that other people have done and are going to make a living that other
Interesting.
people.
That's an interesting analogy,
Well,
Turoczy.
think of Led Zeppelin.
Elvis and Led Zeppelin?
Well, think of what
Jesus.
Elvis did. Like he took music, he made it white, and think of
He took race records. That's what they were called.
and made them white.
Yeah.
And look at what
Exactly.
Led Zeppelin did. Like all of Robert Johnson's work is Jimmy Page.
Yeah.
And
Basically, yeah.
and they made a whole career
Let
out of
alone
that. And
Eric Clapton
and that's what people are going to do with
Yeah.
social media. They're going to take this work people have done before, and they're going to say, "This is how we package it to make money."
Dude, so I'm the Robert Johnson of the.
You are the Robert
media.
Johnson of podcasting. Welcome to the crossroads.
Look at the
my
shades,
friends.
baby.
Yeah.
I'm the
Yeah.
real deal.
Why do I have a rant?
Wait. I got to turn your mic on after all that coughing.
that coughing
Speaking of
and-
Robert Johnson and the blues, and I don't know. Are you ready, Cami?
Why does Dr. Normal feel compelled to wear his sunglasses on the air?
I'm incognito.
Let's face it, it's almost 1 a.m.
In burrito.
You know what? Until the day that I make money at this and I can support my family, I'm incognito. Rick's laughing. Yeah.
I think you just have like a
Pretty soon
cooler.
the Silicon Florist will be wearing shades
I
as
think you just have
well.
a cooler than thou image
Whoa,
that you
T.
feel the need to uphold.
And that will be another future episode of Crazy Talk, trust me.
How long have we been talking? I know this isn't my show, but I feel compelled to ask.
We
have we
are
been talking
shorter than we have been the last two nights. We're at 57 minutes, so we're just about wrapping up.
I think you should shoot for an hour tonight instead of
I think we should too.
longer.
I think we should too, believe me.
God damn it, please get this Cami chick off my show.
So any final words? Let's do the McLaughlin group around the when we go around. Let's do predictions. I like predictions for the week. Predictions. Let's start off with CamiKaos.
Just start off with me.
If I can find your lower
Predictions
third.
for this week.
I can't find your damn lower third.
What is my prediction supposed to be for?
For
What you predict
the
is gonna
future of
happen for the-
podcasting.
For this week?
No. What your predictions for the week? What's
this
gonna happen
week.
the week?
The
yeah.
week?
I predict
Yeah.
that on
The McLaughlin
Thursday,
group thing.
Steph Strickland will come back and come back
that's weak.
strong
Ooh.
on KGW the Square.
Very good. Very nice.
I stole
Very
the
nice.
easy one. Ha ha ha. I stole the
Turoczy!
easy one.
Predictions for the week.
Yeah, it's not going to be for the week. This is going to be more like a far-ranging prediction based on what we've talked about.
Thank you, Nostradamus. Okay, go.
I think it would be. That it would
Okay,
be
go.
Rick,
that it would be-
duck, Rick, run away.
I think as we start looking like these advertising models we've talked about, I think it would be much more beneficial to look at the beginning of things like television and journalistic advertising than the end where we've reached today.
So
And
we
I
should
think-
look back to see what's going to happen in our future.
Your
Exactly.
show of shows.
Exactly, or like why is a soap opera a soap opera? Because it's sponsored by Borax or Dove or what? I mean, like go back to those models.
What
from
soap
the
opera
original.
is sponsored by Borat?
It's
funny.
one in,
My
it's
most
one in-
horrific Halloween costume.
Flight of the Conchords.
My most horrific Halloween costume. We were driving up Burnside to get to the party that we're going
Oh,
to.
you didn't see a Borat one.
And
Is this
I
a
couldn't tell it was
prediction?
Borat from behind. All I saw was this guy's naked ass and some
There was just a lot
suspenders.
of behind.
And then when we were parking the car later, we saw him in his Borat
Actually,
costume.
we
It was
walked past him, and I looked and I said, "Was that the guy,
horrifying.
Cami?" And she's like, "Yeah, that was the guy." I was like, "Yeah."
horrifying. And it was cold outside.
All right,
And that was
Turoczy.
horrifying.
Turoczy, is that it?
Horrifying!
Okay,
I
is that
can't
it?
respond after that. I'm pretty much
Okay.
at a loss.
Don't do that to yourself.
How many email
Don't disrespect
subscriptions
yourself
are you
that
going to
way.
get on your newsletter?
I'm
don't
not
know.
going to subscribe.
Are we doing Jason Calacanis numbers or what?
Yeah, I'd say that's pretty safe.
I'm
All right.
not subscribing.
All right, let's
I
give
don't,
it to
because
Verso.
I don't want the brevity, and I don't need
Hang on.
more email.
No,
Hang on.
what is
Verso.
it I'm predicting?
What's happening in the week? Politics.
Oh,
technology. This week. Go Verso.
I'm probably going to spend a significant portion of my week staying up far too late because I know crazy people who like to podcast all the live long day.
Yeah.
Although tomorrow night, it's not Dr. Normal's turn. Tomorrow night,
Oh.
it'll be my turn to do a
Oh,
show.
is that your prediction?
Are you predicting, Cami?
I'm just stating facts, lady.
I also predict that we're going to get something about the T-Mobile situation that is either going to be stupendously good for them or stupendously bad for them, one way or the other. I'm not sure which way it's going to go yet. I'm going to lean toward bad only because they haven't been very transparent thus far with whatever the hell it is that's going on.
Are you on T-Mobile?
So,
Are you T-Mobile?
yeah. No, I'm not.
Oh, you're iPhone.
Yeah. I'm, I guess, locked iPhone.
Okay. So,
And
T-Mobile situation. Very good.
yeah, so I'm going to say that there's going to be something that's going to go on with that. And I'm not entirely convinced that hot on the heels of the Sidekick fiasco of 2009, that it's going to be something that they are going to easily recover from.
All right.
So, there it is.
Dr. Normal, what's your prediction?
First, I'm bringing up the music. In theory,
I'd also like to point out that the chat room says the prediction for the week, the McClure, is y'all not going to get paid. Sorry.
nice one.
Oh, Mike,
Oh.
that hurts.
It did.
That hurts.
So
Hurts me right here in the
that's right.
pocketbook.
So unfortunately,
Is that a euphemism of some sort?
in theory, the music's supposed to play right now,
I don't hear any
and it's
We
not.
couldn't hear it
No,
on the intro
Oh, you know what? I don't know. I don't know what's going on. But here's my prediction.
Hey,
And,
Cami, hum.
No,
I don't know the music,
do
and
not
I've been
hum.
told not to sing.
Do not hum.
Oh, okay. I'll hum. Do, 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 do.
Are we done yet?
do, do, do,
Because I gotta end this solid. I gotta end this solid, guys.
I'm giving you bed
Get it
music.
in under
No,
the
no, no,
wire.
no, no. Dr. Normal's prediction is extraterrestrials will come to the Northwest by next week. Who will they ask for? They'll ask for Hockley. Until tomorrow, good night.